Let's do Thomas Was Alone. I've been meaning to start this for a while. New game. Let's try this out. The program was a failure. People forget this. It was a massive flop. The coders started adding name strings to the AIs as a joke. Thomas wasn't special. It was just an AI.
Thomas was alone. Wow. A weird first thought to have.
Okay. Now we jump or we fall. Okay.
Thomas decided to start listing his observations for posterity.
Oh, I remember. So the
1.
narrator.
The whole alone thing. 2. Portals. They led somewhere. He'd yet to work out where. 3. Falling. Thomas was absolutely fantastic at falling. He was almost as good at falling as he was at observing.
No, can't make it back up there. I want to see if the narrator says anything. Nope. So the storyline that the narrator tells is a big deal, a big part of this game, if I recall.
Okay, interesting. Thomas couldn't fall past this block. Think, damn it, think. What if there was some kind of inverted fall? Some way to... what's the word? Jump. A big jump. But Thomas noted there was no real danger in missing it. The world didn't want him to fail here. It was pushing him, but gently.
I missed it. There we go. Ah. Okay.
This all seemed a little dangerous. The world was not to be trusted. It was unstable, and it seemed to Thomas that it could let him down at any moment. He was starting to suspect it might even...
Oh. I shouldn't have skipped the dialogue there.
This all seemed a little dangerous.
Okay. I want to try and get that little... I think that's a collectible.
This all seemed a little dangerous.
Oh, still missed it.
This all seemed a little dangerous. The world was...
Yeah. Mr. Lonely. Find both
This
achievement
all
pickups and
seemed
spawn.
a little dangerous.
Okay, good.
The world was not to be
Oh.
trusted. It was
It falls away.
unstable, and it seemed to Thomas that it could let him down at any moment.
Wow.
Thomas wondered whether the portals were actually taking him anywhere. He felt like he was making progress, but there wasn't really any way to know. He seemed to be moving predominantly up and to the right, which might, or might not, be important. It might have been paranoia again, but Thomas could have sworn the world was becoming more complicated. It always seemed to be one step ahead of his skills. It had been designed just for him. He wondered why. Was the world testing him? No, too obvious.
spawn points to save a
Something
character's
about
progress.
boiling, toxic, glowing water intimidated Thomas. He didn't like it. He certainly didn't want to swim in it. He made another mental note. 4. Water. Not good. To be avoided. The loneliness was getting to Thomas. No amount of observation or obsessive note-taking could combat that.
Makes one wonder if Thomas will be alone forever. I was hoping there was a collectible here. Nope. At least not as far as I can tell.
Thomas had a new theory. The world was training him. He could feel himself getting smarter. There was the mental list to consider. Over the minutes and seconds since his spontaneous generation, he'd become a pretty skilled jumper. He was evolving. He just wished he had someone to share it with.
He's pretty skilled at jumping. Ah, here we go.
Chris took an immediate and deep dislike to the skinny red rectangle. Who the hell did this Thomas think he was?
Ah. Yay! Teamwork!
Chris had been doing fine. He wasn't the highest jumper, but he'd held his own. He'd even been graceful at times. Well, not actually. Not technically graceful. It's probably the wrong word, but you know, fine. There was that skinny little runt leaping about like he owned the place.
Oh man. Okay, so this guy can't jump as high, right? So... hopefully okay. I think from here we're good.
Okay, this was more like it. A glowy white thing. Only Chris could get to it, which of course made it all the more enticing. What would it do? What new opportunity might this switch open up to him? Great, great. Another chance for Thomas to jump slightly higher than Chris. How fortunate. Seriously, this made the whole switch pressing thing entirely worthwhile. Was this good? Because on the surface, it did not seem good. Chris was pretty scared. Little Red seemed fine, happy to be on his merry little adventure. Chris couldn't shake the feeling that things had taken a significant turn for the worse since Thomas had joined him. Sure, he'd been able to piggyback his way to ever so slightly higher platforms, but where had that got him? Well, to ever so slightly higher platforms, which was sort of his point.
There we go. Okay, you can move the map around with the right stick. Okay. Introducing a few new mechanics here.
Chris stared at Thomas with pure hatred. He seemed so very happy at their situation. Friends together, a brave fellowship of quadrilaterals on a quest for greatness. That would be fine. But it was all the obvious observation that Thomas was doing which grated. Every time they saw something vaguely new, Chris would hear a satisfied little from the vaulting idiot. He hoped the next portal would split them up, if only for a few levels.
There we go. That's pretty funny. It looks like they are going to get split up. Maybe. Oh, they both have to go down here. Okay, so he has to... go all the way. Oh gosh. No. There we go. Now we get our third team member.
John knew. He knew that this was his chance. A moment to shine. This was game day.
Oh, he jumps even higher. Wow. There we go.
This would not do. John needed room to show off his exceptional skills. As it was, he was trapped on the wrong side of these little dot things. Where did they come from, anyway?
Nobody knows where any of this stuff has come from.
John inhaled the air of the open space, and it smelled of awesome. Time to flex those muscles, to put his training to use, time to show those little dots how it was done. John decided to press the switch, to let the little dots catch up with him. John cared for his new allies. You could tell from the sympathetic expression he'd practiced in the mirror all these years.
There's a collectible down there. We'll have to see if we can get it. Let's send John down first. See what he's getting himself into. Okay. Actually, that might work. Yes. There we go. Haha. Oh, he can just go through. Let's try it. Yep. Okay. Nice.
John was happy to keep helping. He felt it was important to his image that he was seen to help the little guys.
Okay, they both can scoot through there. Good. I'm just gonna go see if there's another switch, but I don't think there is. I think I'm just missing part of the puzzle. You just back away. In there. Yeah. Gotta do this thing again. There we go. Whoops.
He didn't mind them so much either. The red one, Thomas, had a charming way of applauding every time John jumped.
Did he really? Okay, he can't make it, so I have to do this again. I think he can't make it. Good old Thomas. Oh. He probably can't make that jump. Okay, there we go. Oh, another collectible way over there. Okay.
The angry orange one was less immediately likeable, but his unremitting cynicism and tutting amused John.
Okay, so he can definitely make it. cool game. Pretty challenging at times. Gotta wrap your brain around it.